Hi everyone. It's crazy to think that just a year ago I was standing in the same position, speaking before a similar group of passionate leaders, all starry-eyed and hopeful, bursting with bright ideas to give back to the community that has served us so well. It's crazy to think that a year has passed. I've been so caught up in the hustle and grind of board that I've forgotten to take a moment to breathe and look back on all the growth. My growth, APSA's growth as an organization, and the growth of each individual that has ever had the privilege to experience APSA. I look back and realize that my growth with APSA had started long before I even understood what APSA is. I remember landing from my plane from the Bay Area and stepping foot onto SDSU for the first time for orientation. I felt like I was in a foreign land and I sought out any sense of familiarity I could find. So I walked up to the APIDA booth, which at the time I called APIDA, and coincidentally, though I didn't know it yet, the girl sitting there was a past APSA board member. I asked if APIDA was a club, and she said no, but there is an AAPI club if you want to join one, so I kept that in the back of my mind. A month later, it's the start of the semester, there's a bunch of clubs tabling, and I passed by APSA's booth on Centennial. Thank God they stopped me, because though I didn't know it yet, APSA was going to be the foundation of my college career. I was experiencing the magic of APSA before I even knew what APSA was. It's an experience I feel privileged to have, and I want to continue supporting APSA so we can offer this experience to even more individuals. So, as I transition to my final year of college, I stand before all of you today in the same position, speaking before another group of passionate leaders, all starry-eyed and hopeful, to say hi. My name is Alizei de Leon, and I am a second-year accounting major with an honors minor, and I am running to be your 24 to 25 president. When I was last here, I had given APSA a promise to bring my role to new heights. I promised to use my creativity, problem-solving, and innovation to give the finance role a fresh new look. A year later, I feel proud of the work I've done. With new social fundraisers that have increased our profits and meticulous budgeting to bring FTS, our largest, most costly event, to an almost net zero instead of the usual large net negative, I would humbly like to think that I had fulfilled my promise to the best of my ability. I now come to you today with a new promise, a new vision to bring all of APSA to new heights. But before we reach for the stars, we need to start from the roots. When Bougie Board had our first meeting, I remember looking around the room and feeling so excited. I saw so many smart, talented individuals around me. I knew we were all overflowing with potential. Over the year, however, I saw each of our spirits gradually diminish as the demand for labor and time became too much. Burnout. It's inevitable regardless of the position, organization, or obligation that you're in. However, I believe the burnout that our board members experience is far beyond what is normal. I remember being a GBMer in my first fall semester and hearing from other GBMers, not even board members, that APSA board was like a 5-unit class or a full-time job with no pay, and it was tiring, draining, and dreadful. This clouded my mind before there was even talk about shadowing or elections or how to get on board. This perpetuated culture of burnout is unhealthy, and it hurts all of us, as individuals, as a board, and as an organization. When board members are burnt out, they lose their spark. They lose their drive, their passion, and their creativity. All those goals board members had to go above and beyond, they're forgotten because board members barely have the energy to fulfill their basic expectations. My fellow board members, you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that's how I've been feeling, and I think it's time for a change. This is APSA's 51st year. That's 51 years of traditions and routines. But we must remember, before anything was a tradition, it was first an innovation. And I think that's what we need now. Change, creativity, innovation. I want to target APSA's burnout culture from the roots. Not with a workshop, not with occasional breaks, but with a reform. I want us to think critically about the events we hold. I want us to be intentional, purposeful. What are the events and programs we're holding and why? Is it actually going to benefit us? Benefit our GBMers? Or are we just doing it to uphold tradition and routine? How are we planning these events? Is it effective and efficient? Is it worth our time and efforts? Or are there newer, bigger ideas we can focus on? For example, in my time as finance, I focused my efforts on social fundraisers instead of standalone food fundraisers. They were twice, if not 3 times, as profitable and more enjoyable for our GBMers. When it was time for FTS, I focused on negotiating with AS for funding instead of depending on sponsorships that were once effective many years ago, but are now just another routine, tedious task for everyone. My efforts produced triple the results we received from sponsorships because I understood that what's worked before isn't working anymore. Change is risky. Change can be uncomfortable, but you need change to grow. If I've learned anything from this year, from being a board member and seeing the behind-the-scenes work of it all, it's that traditions are no longer working. When you're putting in time and effort into something that's only being done for tradition and they prove to be less and less fruitful, you're going to burn out. Burnout happens when you lose that passion and drive. You don't get that passion and drive from mindless routine. You get that passion and drive when you're really present, when you put your whole mind, body, and heart into it, and when you care about something so deeply that you want to contribute to its growth and improvement. I believe that if we can mitigate the board burnout, our passion can propel us to new heights. We can grow and strengthen our community. We can rebuild our cultural and political pillars. We can build new programs to reach more diverse student populations. We can accomplish each of the goals and ideas we presented here tonight. We can do all that and more, but we need a strong foundation. We need to target the roots. If we can mitigate our board burnout and remember our purpose, we can maintain our spirit and charisma that made us all want to join board, join APSA in the first place. We can keep our fire going. I understand that I cannot implement these changes alone. That's the beautiful thing about APSA. It's rooted in its people. It's rooted in you, all of you, diverse student leaders who have the courage to represent our organization, our values, and our objectives. So, APSA, here's a promise I offer you today. To the next board, I promise, if you'll give me the opportunity, I will do the best I can in providing the best space for you to flourish and grow into your full potential. A space where you can execute all the bright, wonderful ideas you've presented here tonight and keep that fire going. To develop this space, I will lead with transparency, accountability, and intentionality. I will be proactive. I'll make sure that you don't fall behind, that you feel the work you're doing is fair and equal, and that you feel that your voice is heard and represented. I'll make sure that you feel the work you're doing is meaningful and that it matters. Most importantly though, I will be here to support you and help you get back on your feet when you do fall behind, when you don't feel like the work is fair, and when you don't feel like your voice is heard, because it's going to happen, but I will be there for you. To our GBMers, I promise I will keep you at the center of our goals, because at the end of the day, our work means nothing without you. All this work to mitigate our burnout, to innovate and expand our events, all of that is for you. So we can improve the quality and magic of APSA and hopefully inspire a fire within you. They say the executive branch, my current branch, is the backbone of board. Well, to the next board, I want to be the backbone that supports all of you with empathy and care, but also one that gives you the strength to be the best that you can be. Because I see all of you here tonight, smart, talented, starry-eyed and hopeful, all with a fire that I don't want you to lose. A fire that I know can push APSA to grow beyond its limits. A fire that I want you to hold onto beyond your time in APSA. Because amongst all the changes and growth we are about to experience on this journey, your passion is the one thing that should never change. And I will make sure of it as your 24 to 25 president. Thank you.